Heracles is in Tiryns. He's just handed over the Erymanthian boar to King Eurystheus and completed his 4th labour. Heracles leaves the king, who is still hiding in his ceramic pot, and soon afterwards is given his 5th labour. One of the king's heralds, appropriately named Copreus, or Dung Man, comes to Heracles to give him his 5th labour. Unlike the last 4 tasks, which have been mostly about trying to prove Heracles' inability to be impressive and heroic, this next one is mostly about humiliating our hero. The goal of the 5th labour is to clean and clear the cattle stables of King Aegeus of Elis. Eurystheus is pleased by the thought of Heracles disgusted by neck-high dung, which he would have to clear by hand. The stables that our hero has been asked to clean are no ordinary stables. King Aegeus owns the largest herd of animals on Earth. He owns over 3,000 healthy and breeding livestock. His animals are also incredibly fertile and immune to disease thanks to divine dispensation. On top of his regular cattle, the king owns 500 black and red stud bulls, and 12 outstanding silver white ones which act as protectors of the herd from wild beasts. The stables have not been cleaned in over 30 years. The dung the cattle has produced in that time has severely affected the land surrounding Elis. The smell and disease of the dung, which the animals are immune to, has spread across the whole of the Peloponnese. It has gotten so bad that most pastures of land can no longer be ploughed because they are submerged in dung. The herald continues in his giving of the labour to Heracles. He tells our hero the key caveat of this labour: the cleanup must be completed within a single day. Heracles makes his way to Elis and finds Aegeus, the king. Aegeus knows nothing of the labour that Heracles has been sent to complete. Heracles offers to the king that he will cleanse his stables before nightfall if the king gives him 10% of his cattle in return. The king responds incredulously, laughing as if our hero is joking, but agrees to the terms. He calls upon his son to bear witness to the agreement, and the pair of them swear an oath to uphold the deal should the task be done as promised. This is the only oath that Heracles ever makes. Suddenly, Phaethon, the leader of Aegeus' white bulls, charges at Heracles, mistaking him for a lion. Our hero grabs the impressive bull by his horn and throws him to the floor. Heracles leaves the king's presence and makes to complete his task. Heracles calls upon his nephew and charioteer Iolaus to help him tear large holes in both sides of the stable. The pair then create a channel within which water can eventually flow. The trenches that Heracles creates go all the way to 2 rushing rivers named Alpheus and Peneus. Heracles completely changes the path of the 2 rivers so that they converge on the stables. The water from both rivers rushes through the stables, wiping it clean. It continues to flow down into the valley pastures, where the fields are also cleansed, making them arable again. By this point, Aegeus has discovered that Heracles was under orders by Eurystheus to clear the stables. He uses this fact as an excuse to deny Heracles his reward in completing the task. The king proclaims that Heracles would do well to understand that the bargain had never taken place, and welcomes arbitration by trial to prove that fact. Heracles is dumbfounded and protests his truth to the judges of the trial that he had indeed made the pact with the king. The king's son, who had witnessed the deal, also stands up in defense of Heracles, speaking the same truth. Just as the judges are about to rule in Heracles' favour, Aegeus stands up in fury and banishes Heracles, Iolaus, and his own son from Elis. Aegeus proclaims that he was tricked, as the river gods, not Heracles, had done all of the work. Heracles returns to Tiryns and submits to King Eurystheus that his 5th labour is now complete. Against the expectations of Eurystheus, Heracles has easily cleaned the stables, without so much as dirtying his little finger with dung. However, Eurystheus claims that because Heracles demanded payment from Aegeus for the work, Heracles had not truly completed the labour. The total count of labours that Heracles must now complete has gone from 11 to 12. The sixth labour of Heracles is about to begin. That's it, thanks for watching. Thanks for liking and subscribing to us, it really means a lot. If you're new to us, why not check out some of our other content linked right here. I'm Circle Strafe and I'll see you in the next episode. Toodles!